All right, so we're going to talk about order of operations. So a numerical expression contains only numbers and operations. So an expression that only has numbers and operations. When I say operations, I mean like plus, minus, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. What means to find the value of a numerical expression? Well, the answer here is evaluate. To evaluate means to find the value of a numerical expression. And then to evaluate a numerical expression, we use the order of operations. And the order of operations is just a set of rules to follow and make sure that we simplify and evaluate the expression correctly. So order of operations, remember PEMDAS a long time ago when you guys had order of operations? So the P, remember, stands for parentheses. They look like this little guy. Sometimes they look like this as well, like little boxes around here. And we're going to perform operations inside the parentheses, or other grouping symbols like those little brackets. When we have parentheses, we're working our way inside to outside. All right, E. E stands for exponents. So we're going to evaluate numbers with exponents next. So after we get rid of everything in the parentheses, we're going to move to exponents. Remember, exponents are like 4 to the third power. Now remember, these little guys are the exponents. So that means that we're going to multiply 4 by itself that many times. So we're going to multiply by itself that many times. So I'm going to have 4 times 4 times 4. And if you type that in the calculator, 4 times 4 times 4 is going to give me 64. All right, next, after we get rid of the exponents, we're going to use to multiplication and division. Remember, multiplication looks like this, or it looks like this. And we're going to make sure here, though, multiplication and division are on the same plane because we're going to work from left to right, just like we read. So, for example, if I had something like 4 divided by 2 times 3. We're going to work left to right. So working our way left to right, we're going to do 4 divided by 2 first because that comes first. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you do multiplication before division. Always when you have both of these operators inside one entire expression, you're going to move left to right, and whatever comes first, boom, that's what we're going to do first. So we'd actually take 4 divided by 2 first, and we're going to bring everything back down. And then we're going to multiply 2 times 3, which gives me 6. All right, next comes addition and subtraction. And this is stuff we do last. And you're always going to make sure you also work left to right. So for example, if I had 4 minus 2 plus 3, we're going to make sure if I have a minus and a plus that we're using, we're going to move left to right. So 4 minus 2 is going to come first. So just because the addition comes in PEMDAS first doesn't necessarily mean you're going to add all the time first. Always move left to right. Moving left to right. So we take 4 minus 2, which is 2, and we're going to bring down this plus and the 3. Then we're going to add 2 and 3 together to get 5. All right, let's take a look at a more complicated example. All right, so we have 6 plus 50 divided by 3 plus 2 to the second power times 4 minus 10. Okay, so let's start off at the very top in our order. We have P, parentheses. Okay, do I have a set of parentheses? Sure do. So we're going to go ahead and simplify from the inside out. So we're going to look at these two inside values first. We have 3 plus 2, which is going to get me 5. Now, you can keep those parentheses around there if you want. It's kind of important when we start getting negatives in there. And we're going to carry down everything else. We have times 4 minus 10. All right. Now, inside these parentheses, everything's evaluated and it's done. We have everything simplified. We have no more operators inside the parentheses. So I'm going to take my exponents next. Remember, the little guys are my exponents. So I'm going to take 5 squared. Now, remember, that doesn't mean 5 times 2. 5 squared is 5 times 5. Multiply to itself 2 times. So 5 times 5 gives me 25. So this is going to be 25 now. So I have 6 plus 50 divided by 25 times 4. Minus 10. All right. So looking next, multiplication and division. So if we're moving left to right, remember, see we have multiplication and division in here? We got to make sure we move left to right. So the very first thing we come across is our division. Remember, just looking at multiplication and division. So we're going to divide 50 divided by 25 first, because that comes first, left to right. So we got 6. Bringing that down, 50 divided by 25 is 2. We're going to bring down that plus as well. Bring down the times 4 minus 10. All right, so next we're still on this piece right here. So we're still looking for a multiplication and division. So here we're going to now multiply these two values together. So I have 2 times 4, which gives me 8. I'm going to bring down the 6, bring down the plus, bring down the minus 10. Now we have addition and subtraction last. That's all we got. So we're going to move left to right. So 6 plus 8 gives me 14. Bring down that minus 10, and that's what we're going to do last, and we get 4. That's our final answer. We evaluated that expression. So we're going to do one more example. All right, remember, we have PEMDAS that we're looking for. All right. So looking for parentheses, well, we have 2 sets of parentheses. So let's go ahead. We can go ahead and evaluate this one first. So we can take 13 minus 2. 13 minus 2 is going to get me 11. You can keep those parentheses if you want. Bring down that plus. We're going to bring down that 16 minus 24 divided by 2. Okay, now we're still on parentheses, right? Still haven't gotten rid of those yet. So let's look at the other set of parentheses. Now, going inside the parentheses, everything on the inside, are there any exponents? No. Okay, next up is going to be multiplication or division. So moving left to right, we got this division sign here. So what we're going to do is divide 24 by 2 first. If I take 24 divided by 2, I'm going to get 12. So I'm going to bring down everything. Minus 16, and we still got these parentheses, plus 11 squared. All right. So now we still are trying to simplify what's inside the parentheses because we're still here. Okay, inside here we don't have any other exponents, but we don't have any multiplication division because that's what we just got rid of, but we do have a subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and reduce that first. So 16 minus 12 is going to get me what? 4? All right, when I do bring down my plus sign, I'm going to bring down my 11 squared. Now, see how these parentheses, there's nothing really left inside here? The only reason why I'm keeping them is because if this was a negative, it's going to change the sign because we're multiplying to itself, right? Remember, 11 squared means 11 times 11. So I'm going to have 121 instead. Bring down my plus sign and bring down my 4. Now the very last thing is to add. So 121 plus 4 gives me 125.